All right, in this video, I want to talk about workflow tools of the trade. There are a couple of different things that I want to show you in here. The first section is once you have your workflow kind of set up, the first thing you're going to need is a trigger. So what kind of triggers can you use? Well, if you click on Add New Workflow Trigger, it's going to pull this up. And there's a couple of actions that can happen. Something from the CRM can happen. Maybe you add them to a campaign. Something from Facebook, maybe somebody filled out a lead form on Facebook or took some kind of action on Facebook, like sent your fan page a message. That could trigger a workflow. Maybe something happens on Shopify that you want to integrate. So maybe somebody checked out on Shopify and we want to automatically start sending them an email newsletter or something. So what you can do is you can look through these trigger types and find what's relevant to you that would trigger your workflow starting out. Okay, so here's an example. So workflow trigger, let's do a CRM. Well, what could happen? Well, this could happen when an appointment gets set up, when it's a birthday, when a call status or a contact changes. Maybe a contact gets updated, so we fire out an email to him. Maybe this runs when a tag is added to a prospect. Maybe a prospect becomes a customer, so we send them a customer email. Right? So these triggers are, think of them like this is what's triggering a response, right? So that's the first tool in your arsenal. What you want to do is look at these triggers and see all the different options you have. So we have email events, we have customer replies. So maybe somebody replies in your workflow that can trigger another workflow to start. So you need some kind of starting point, some kind of trigger that happens. Maybe they get added to a campaign, maybe they fill out a form. What I recommend you do is go through these triggers and really see what all opportunities you have to start campaigns and create them. If you look at on Facebook, let's check out those. So a Facebook lead form gets submitted. We can start a follow-up sequence from that. Let's check out the Shopify ones here on Shopify. When somebody abandons the checkout, let's say somebody kind of opts in, they're starting to fill out their form, but then they leave and leave it there. Well, we can automatically send them emails to, hey, finish your order. Here's your link. When an order gets placed, we can automatically start sending them email newsletters. That could be the trigger, right? So play with the triggers, find out like what actions you might be interested in starting a campaign for. That will be something that I like to just look through these and kind of see what options I have to start new campaigns and new marketing and automations. Now, the next tool in your arsenal is actions. These are things that happen because something was triggered, right? So if we click on the plus there, here's everything that you can do to, once an action happens, you can have a reaction with this action here. So if somebody fills out a web form, for example, that might be our trigger. Well, we can automatically send emails. We can send text messages. We can place a call. We can send a ringless voicemail. We can fire out a message on Facebook or Instagram. We can send out a manual text message or a manual call. So we could add them to a queue for our sales team to call. And maybe somebody opts in and then the next day it's added to their queue to follow up with them. We could fire out a Google My Business message. When somebody opts in or something, maybe we want to add a contact tag and tag them as a prospect. We can do this all automatically. So these are all tools that you can use to really build out these intricate sequences. Let's keep going. So here we can remove tags. We can add tags. We can add them to a pipeline or opportunity. We can add a note about them. We can assign them to a user. So if we have like staff, like sales guys, we could assign them to one of the sales guys if we wanted to. We could remove an assigned user. So for example, maybe our sequence, we're going through and then once they buy, that could be a trigger to remove them from our sales team and assign them to our customer fulfillment team, right? We could have an event start date. So we can have this set up to kind of wait until a certain specific date. We could add them to additional workflows. We can remove them from workflows. We can remove them from all workflows. These are all little automations that you can add into your process. We can send internal notifications that be to your team. We can send texts and emails to your staff to let them know that somebody needs to be followed up with or an action needs to take place. If they respond, they want to be taken off on here. Maybe you want to add them to the do not disturb, right? You can edit their conversation. You can send a review request. You can send a one-time charge to them where, they say, hey, I'm interested. I want to buy. You can automatically send them a way to pay. Really awesome. You can update their appointment status. You can add tasks. You can try to book an appointment with them. You can add to Google Analytics or Facebook ad campaigns, custom audiences. You can update their contact field if they give you like phone numbers and things. So guys, this is really robust as to what's possible. These are all tools in your arsenal. Now, on top of that, we have membership actions. You can grant an offer. So like maybe you send them a pay link, and as soon as they pay, it automatically grants them an offer or revokes an offer. You can also have conditions. These are great to build really dynamic campaigns. So for example, if they do this or they say yes, or if they say no, maybe another action happens. Maybe you follow up with another text that says, hey, what can we do better? Or if they say, yes, I'm interested, maybe you follow up with them with a text with an offer. You can have the wait option on here. So if we want to wait days, minutes, hours before sending something, we can add that in there. We can webhook information to other platforms or send them to the go-to. So guys, you've got a lot of tools in here that you can build out your follow-up sequences, your campaigns. You can do some amazing stuff. And these can have literally hundreds of steps if you want, and just have a ton of automation there. These are all at your disposal. I highly recommend you get in here and start building some workflows out. Just try things out, see what happens, and then test them on yourself and see how it worked. It's amazing with what you can do.